Good day, students. I'm so delighted to welcome you to my class for today. In our last class, we talked about management practices in poultry farming. We talked about feeding as well as hygiene, sanitation, and medication. In this class, we are going to continue with the management practices in poultry farming, and we are going to be looking at other management practices such as egg handling, incubation, candling, hatching, as well as brooding. Pay attention as we discuss them one after the other. Egg handling. In this practice, fertile eggs are collected from the breeding pens and then sorted out. Sorting out process involved collecting or removing the defective eggs and the broken eggs from among the fertile eggs. And then after, the sorted out eggs are arranged in trays and taken to the cooling house or cooling room. Here, temperature is kept at about 13 degrees Celsius, and the relative humidity, which is the amount of vapor in the air, is kept at about 80%. Then the egg stays here for close to 5 to 7 days before they are taken to the incubator. So the next management practice that follow immediately after egg handling is incubation. Incubation involves keeping the fertile eggs warm until the embryo developed to form young chicks. In the incubator, initial conditions are maintained as follows. The temperature is kept at 38 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity is kept at 64%. Oxygen is kept at 21%, and carbon dioxide is kept at 0.5%. Here in the incubator, the eggs are kept in these conditions until the embryo developed to form young chicks. When this is done, normally the eggs are supposed to stay 21 days in the incubator before hatchery will take place. Here in the incubator, candling is carried out, which is the next management practice in poultry farming. What's candling? Candling is a process of identifying and selecting the fertile eggs. This is done by passing light through the eggs. When the light strikes the egg from below, the infertile eggs are easily identified. That is, the fertile eggs contain blood vessels, while the infertile eggs contain no blood vessel. When you pass light from under, it will be obvious. You can see through the eggs If there is blood vessel inside, it means that the egg is fertile. If there is no blood vessel, it means that the egg is not fertile. So the infertile eggs are removed from the incubator, while the fertile ones remain. Candling is normally carried out on the 6th day and as well as on the 18th day of the egg stay in the incubator. So after the 18th day, the eggs are now removed from the pre-hatching incubator to the hatching incubator for the next 3 days to make it up to 21 days of the egg stay in the incubator. And then the next management practice that follow immediately is called hatching. Hatching is the process where the incubated eggs are broken out so that the young chicks can emerge. So this is normally done after the eggs have stayed 21 days in the incubator. It is even advisable that we allow the egg to stay 22 to 23 days before the hatchery is done. And other eggs that are not hatched are now disposed of. So after hatchery, the young chicks stayed in the incubator for a few hours before they are now taken to the brooder house. And that leads us to the last management practice, which we are going to be discussing on today, which is brooding. Brooding is the term used for the management of a day-old chicks until they are about 4 weeks old. In the brooder house, the floor is made of concrete and the walls should be rat-proof. The concrete floor is covered with clean wood shavings. Then the feeders as well as the drinkers are arranged at appropriate places in the brooder house. Light and heat are also made available in the brooder house. All of this should be done before the chicks are introduced to the brooder house. Temperature changes or temperature regulation is also very, very important in the brooder house. The breeders must ensure that it watch out for the behavior of the chicks in order to tell whether the temperature maintained in the brooder is adequate or good enough for the chicks. For example, if the chicks are seen to cluster around the source of light, it shows that the temperature in the brooder house is very low. And as a result, the breeder has to increase the source of light so that the temperature could increase. However, if the birds are found to move far off from the source of light, it shows that, or it indicates that the temperature in the brooder is high. And as a result, the birds will not be able to feel comfortable, and that will affect their feed intake and could even lead to dehydration and, in a very serious case, death. So what the breeder needs to do is to adjust the light so that the chicks can be comfortable. So how do you know that the temperature change in the brooder house is just okay for the chicks? It's when you see that the chicks are evenly distributed in the brooder house. It shows that the temperature change in the room is just, in the brooder house is just adequate. Well, students, this is where we are going to bring this class to an end. In our next class, by the grace of God, we'll be discussing on a new topic, and that is storage of farm produce. I sincerely believe you will enjoy the class. Till then, bye for now.